reports were vague. There were no suspects, no signs of forced entry, and nothing that could be tied to a crime. The case file grew thick with dead ends, but in hushed voices, away from the ears of the English authorities, the local Amish began sharing what they had seen or heard on the night the Millers vanished. These were not tales meant for public discussion. They were quiet, nervous confessions whispered behind barns and passed from elder to elder. Like fragments of a dark prayer no one wanted to say aloud. A teenage boy named Levi, who lived 3 farms down, recalled waking up in the middle of the night to a strange orange glow filtering through his bedroom window. He had thought it was lightning at first. But when he looked out, the sky was clear. The light, he claimed, came from beyond the Millers' property, flickering, pulsating like a heartbeat. Another farmer's wife said she had seen shadows moving in the tree line that night. Not animals, she insisted. These moved with purpose, two-legged fast, but almost too smooth in the way they glided across the fields. She was too afraid to step outside. Most chilling of all was what the bishop of their district quietly revealed to a visiting preacher weeks after the disappearance. On the same night the Millers vanished, the bishop had been riding back home from a prayer meeting when he heard a low, mechanical humming in the distance, steady, unnatural, like nothing he had ever heard in the countryside before. It wasn't a tractor or generator. This was something else, something unfamiliar. He said it vibrated in his chest and made the horse refuse to move forward, as if some invisible wall had risen around the Miller land. He kept that detail to himself, fearing it would only stir unrest or worse, attract outsiders looking to sensationalize the tragedy. By mid-August, stories like these had become an unspoken thread that wove through the community, but no one dared report them to police. The Amish had a long-standing mistrust of law enforcement, and besides, how could they explain what they couldn't prove? Lights that came from nowhere, sounds that machines shouldn't make, shadows that moved like whispers. Some began to suspect the Millers had come into contact with something forbidden, something that didn't belong in the peaceful rhythms of Amish life. The community's unease grew heavier with each passing night. To outsiders, it all sounded like superstition. But within the Amish, where silence often hides deeper truths, these stories were warnings. Mothers began keeping their children indoors after sunset. Fathers made nightly rounds with oil lanterns, checking for footprints near barns and fences. And still, no answers came, only the wind through the cornfields, and that same mechanical hum, faint, distant, returning now and then like an echo that refused to die. Nearly a decade passed, and the Miller family became more of a legend than a memory in Lancaster County. For the English, their disappearance faded into another unsolved mystery. But for the Amish, the loss remained a haunting silence.